everyone. So today Annie and I were going to be making a cinnamon chocolate cake. Now this recipe is for a 12 by 18 pan, so it's a fairly large pan, but we've made the recipe fit to that size. I will decrease the size so you can make it for a regular 9 by 13 pan or 2 like circle pans. So I will list that down below later on how to make it into a smaller size cake. So we're going to get started and we'll show. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is take 3 cups of flour. So we have 3 cups of flour here. Annie, you want to pour it in?
Sure.
Okay. So we have 3 cups of flour. Next we have 3 cups of sugar. Annie? Snow. And then we're going to take 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt and 3/8 teaspoons of, 2 1/4 teaspoons of cinnamon, 3/8 teaspoon of salt. So I've got it in a little container like this. Go ahead and dump that in. All the way. Okay. So you have the first 4 ingredients. We're going to take the first 4 and you're just going to mix it up. You can use this in a blender, a kitchen mixer, or you can use a hand mixer. Now we're just going to use the hand mixer because it's easier. So we're going to mix this up. Alright, so now we have all our dry ingredients mixed together. Now we're going to go over to the stove and I'm going to show you how to mix together the wet ingredients. Alright, so we have a saucepan here. It's on medium heat. You're going to take 1.5 cups of water. Next, you are going to take 3/4 cups of oil. And then we have 1.5 sticks of butter. And then you are going to take 3/8 cup of just regular cocoa. And we're just using Hershey's cocoa and it's unsweetened. So we're going to take that and we're going to pour it into our mixture. Alright, so now since that's all in there, just take a whisk and we're going to whisk this together. You want it to come to a boil. It'll take about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so now that everything has melted and it's coming to a soft simmer, you can let it go for another few minutes till it makes bubbles and boils, but you don't really have to. Just make sure that it's completely melted, and if there's a little bit of bubbles coming up, then we're done. So we're going to turn it off and we're going to add it to our dry mixture. Alright, so the next step is to turn your oven on to 375 so it can preheat. Now you have your dry mixture here. You're going to make a well and make sure that you're using a heat-safe bowl since you're going to be putting hot liquid into this. So I just make a well like that. Alright, so now we have our hot chocolate mixture. You're going to pour that into the center of your well. Make sure you get all of it. And now very carefully on slow, you are going to start mixing this together. Alright, so now once it is mixed, I only mixed it for about a minute. You're going to take, we have 3 eggs here. So we're going to add 1 egg at a time. You ready?
Right. Do it very carefully.
Very slowly. Add 1 egg. Okay. Hold over the bowl. And just mix that in. Okay, 1 more. right, next you're going to be adding 3/4 cups of buttermilk. Now you don't have to buy buttermilk. You can buy this. It's buttermilk powder, and all you do is follow the directions on the back, and it makes buttermilk for us. So I've measured it out, and we've made 3/4 cups of buttermilk. Okay, you're gonna pour it in. Okay. Pour it in slow. Keep going. Good job.
Buttermilk smells good.
All right, and then you're going to mix this one last time. All right, then we have 2 more things to add, and then we are done. So we're going to be adding 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and I've actually upped it to about 2 teaspoons. And then we have 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. Okay, and then just mix it. Alright, so what I have here is a 12 by 18 pan, and I have greased it and floured it, and then you just tap it around, get all the flour up all the way to the corners, up to the edges, and make sure it's completely coated. Now we're going to take the batter, and we're going to pour it in. Okay, it's very heavy, okay? Very heavy. All the way in. Good job.
I'll spread it.
You can spread it in 1 second. All right, so scrape your bowl. All right, so now that it's in, don't touch the bottom of the pan. There's gonna be like some air bubbles, so you'll just tap the top to get most of the air bubbles out. And the oven is ready, and so we're finished here. So just finish most of the tapping, get all the bubbles out. Just scrape off your spatula. You can tap it a few times, make sure all the bubbles raise to the top. Okay, so now this is going to go into a 375-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes, and then take a toothpick and stick it in the middle. If the toothpick comes out clean, then it is done. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you how the cake looks when it comes out. And then later tonight, I'll show you the frosting. Okay, for the frosting, you're going to take 1 stick of butter and put it into a pan. And you're going to want to melt it completely. Next, you're going to take a 1/3 cup of whipping cream, and you're going to add it into your pan, and make sure your heat is still on medium to low. You're going to stir that in. You're going to take a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Mix that together. Alright, turn your heat off. I have 3 cups of powdered sugar and my hand beater. You're going to add in the powdered sugar and make sure that you mix it really well so it does not clump. Alright, so it still looks a little runny, so I'm going to add another 1/2 cup of powdered sugar because you want it to be a little thick. You're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then mix it till it's smooth. Okay, so once you're done, it's going to be smooth and glossy with no lumps of powdered sugar. Take it and you're going to pour it straight onto your cool cake. Take an icing spatula and just spread it out. Alright, so you're going to let this cool for about 20 minutes for the icing to set, and then you can serve it.